Hello, my name is Chutintorn Gongsakdi. It's quite a mouthful, so a lot of people call me by my nickname, Sam. So I'm now mostly known as Ambassador Sam.
Okay. I think so even for us it would be easy if we call you Ambassador Sam because
Sure.
looking at your personality, very bubbly and really fun, because a lot of people think that, being a representative for the country, you're very strict and really firm, but then you seem to be a lot more different. So would you like to share your experiences to our audiences as a representative for Thai government?
Actually, there are many ways to represent your country, and even those ambassadors that are firm, I'm sure that they represent certain aspects of their country. I've recently been ambassador of Thailand to India, and what I try to do is to raise the profile of the Thai embassy. And being in India has made it easy because Indian people are very approachable. And maybe the Indians expect certain kind of personality from the ambassador, but I think what works best in India is to just be yourself, be accessible. And Indians find it surprising to them that we're not formal, stuck up, and so on. We're just human beings. But I also play on the common culture, and historical roots that we have, and Indians are very flattered by that. And I also learn through that my experience with Indian people that we have so much that we share, and that is partly the reason why Indians love Thailand, and we welcome Indians in Thailand.
Yes. So as you said that you had been serving yourself as an ambassador of Thailand to India, maybe would you want to share one of your really good memories of India with our audience?
Well, we in Thailand we have Princess Mahajakri Sirinthorn, and she has visited India around 18 times. And during my 3.5 years in India, she visited 4 times. And what I find very valuable about her visits is that she goes to faraway places that maybe the common Thai tourist doesn't visit. So she likes to go to the Northeast region. And last time she even went to Nainital, to look at the observatory there. And that is not something that regular person or even regular ambassador would do. So I treasure that through serving her, I visited, special places, and been given special treatment because of Her Royal Highness the Princess, and because of her love for history as well. So we get to learn a lot from her visits. And I wanted to tell you that through her visits, she does an annual photo exhibition. Okay, so if during the year she's visited India, and every year she visits India, then those photos of her visits are also communicated to other people. India has become very popular for Thai tourists, and I feel that even with COVID-19 and with a lot of armchair tourism, I noticed the trend that popularity of Indian food is going up. And with some vloggers and net idols, they're saying that they will visit India as soon as India opens up. So the relationship between Thailand and India the potential of it has always been underrepresented, and I think there's a lot of work to do. I did a lot, but with the new ambassador and so on, that for both sides we have to show people, of all walks of life, the full potential of our relationship, which
yes.
goes from culture to even space, because I also visited Israel, and that's amazing.
Yes. So anyways, like the relationship between Thailand and India, as we see every day, it's getting more stronger because we can see a lot of people going in and out. So for India, I believe that you had a really nice experience there. So maybe you could also share what is your perspective about Thailand and how you see Thailand as a country so that our audience can be more informed.
I think we're lucky, Thailand. We have culture, we have agriculture, we have industry, and we have, let's say the E area, like e-commerce and so on and so forth. But we are a small country, okay, and we are also approaching an aging society. So we need to engage with younger and younger economies with great potential. So one of those is India. Because, I tell people that with 400 million middle class, I mean, that's almost as big as ASEAN, which has 600 plus million. And within ASEAN, the Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Vietnam are probably the most dynamic because they're the youngest. And India and Thailand are connected by Myanmar, right? So that's why I'm always selling India, even though my term in India has ended, because India will still be very important part of our future, and so on, because my job doesn't change, which is whatever I do, it's the national interest, and India will always be part of our national interest.
Yes, true, because there are a lot of people who are just in the generation to come forth, and then they have so many people, means as many people, that many young minds as well. So it's a really good country. And up next, I would like to ask you something about, if you always wanted to be a representative for the country as an ambassador, or maybe working with the foreign ministry, or did you have some other aims as well?
I don't remember, when I was very young, but I am told that since I was a small kid, I said that when I grow up, I want to be an ambassador. My father was also in the foreign service, and his first posting was Delhi. So the fact that I went back to Delhi it completes his legacy, because there's still lots of photos of him there. My father's friends were either in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or in the Bank of Thailand. And sometimes, you hear them talk. That influences you, because my parents never gave me career advice. Because whatever they said, I do the opposite, I'm sure, So sometimes, just by absorbing what is around you. And in the end, I joined without, like in many cases, the parents will tell the kids that I want you to be a doctor like me, I want you to be this, that, or the other. They never did. Maybe they're smart, because if they did, I would go the opposite way. So I did join the foreign ministry. I've only worked in one place, apart from like jobs as a student. And I enjoy it very much. The foreign ministry, I can say, has given me everything. So I not only count, the time that I joined, but I have to count the time I was born, because I was born into foreign service family. So I already know when, in a couple of years when I retire, that my speech will be similar to this, that I've been here 60 years.
Yes, actually that's true. Like, you were just taking on your family's legacy as well. And a lot of people, even in my family as well, they say do that and do this, and it's often that their children are not going to do that. So it's a really great thing, the trick done by your family. Yes.
I didn't tell my daughter to do what to do, and she still didn't join the foreign ministry, but she's in the diplomatic community in Thailand. Okay. So it's kind of
similar.
Very similar.
Yeah. Okay, so next thing is that we can see how in Thailand the COVID-19 response by the MoFA was very, very good, because of which we were able to, we were able to minimize the cases very fast. So for our viewers who will be coming soon in entering Kingdom of Thailand from October as well, what would be your advice to them?
First of all, I seek their understanding that we're not going to go back to no COVID measures, like before, so soon. Okay, people ask me all the time on Twitter and so on, why do we have to do this? Why do we need tests? Why do we need COVID-free certificate and so on and so forth? Because COVID has not been eradicated. We're only at the stage of beginning stages of vaccination. The people in Thailand will take some time, before everyone is vaccinated. And then you have to talk about your vaccine and my vaccine, Is your vaccine recognized by my authorities? Is my vaccine recognized by the Indian authorities? But from 1st of April, we'll see more opening up. So at least I know people have been within their own countries a long time. There's also something good about seeing your own country, right? I mean, there's some domestic tourism, but yes, people are eager to have it opening up, and it will open up. I always try to point out something, 2019, we almost had 40 million tourists, and we almost reached 2 million from India. Last year, from July last year to this morning, we have only received just over 1 lakh foreigners. Between 1 lakh and 40 million. That's a big
difference.
It's
a huge
difference,
gap as
yes.
well.
So that's something I put out on Twitter, both as encouragement, but also as a reality check. And they're all nationalities every day.
Yes.
So it'll be better, but and we welcome everyone. But I think it'll be slightly different as well. I think we may
protocols and everything.
Yes, but also building back better, meaning maybe less tourists, better for the environment, and so on. Because Thailand was kind of abusing our environment and our tourist assets, touristic assets. And so maybe we can do with a little bit less people, use COVID as an opportunity, and then look after people better, look after the environment better.
Is so true, because we've also seen, how places like Chiang Mai and the northern side of Thailand, they've been having a lot of pollutions as well. So it's really good that, if you're able to minimize.
But that's from slash and burn, which is, that's we can't blame that on the tourists. But like for the beaches and so on, we can blame that on tourism. But Chiang Mai, that's slash and burn, and I think that's an economic and an educational problem. Similar in India. So, and I've read in the papers there that we have to give the farmers an economic reason not to burn, because they're burning it for an economic reason, but we're suffering economically. The others, rest of the country, economically and also health-wise.
Yes, true. Yeah. It's really risky.
That's another thing our countries have in similarity, because sometimes Chiang Mai is very higher than in India, and sometimes Bangkok is very high,
True.
Because when I was in Delhi, I used to send them the capture the AQI index of Delhi, which was a lot lower than Bangkok. And sometimes it goes in reverse.
Yes,
so we're in the same boat.
Anyways, hopefully we will be able to tackle this problem as well.
Yeah,
and yes, as you were talking about how people treat you as well, so you do seem like a normal person who has a laid-back life as well. So yes, because we, as I said before, right, for someone as an ambassador, we think that they're really strict, or maybe they're not approachable. So maybe you can share your hobbies and your likings to our audiences as well.
Actually, ambassadors are just civil servants, That's something I tried to emphasize when I was tweeting, because people were expecting
way more than.
They were surprised that they could reach me. I talk, maybe they expect that I'm a human being or something. But anyway, we're just civil servants, and actually my colleagues asked me to go on Twitter, because they were managing the website. And they did the Facebook, so they said, you can take the Twitter, and I said, when I have 500 followers, I'll stop. But I enjoyed it, I have also made some mistakes along the way, and so on. And I've been taught Twitter tips by Indian media and so on and so forth. But I'm just a regular person, actually, and people find it fascinating that ambassadors do regular people things, you know, like go to the market,
Yes.
and you know, things I eat. I mean, if the driver stops on the side of the road and eat snacks, you know, because he says it's good, I'll eat that. But that's shouldn't be surprising because we're just humans, you know.
Yes,
and
but
we
it's
should
really
reflect
fascinating.
the general Thai population and so on. So I just do regular things. I like to go to markets. I like walking. I like to go to shopping. You know, I have an economics background, so I like to check out the markets. You know, check out the commerce, see what's available. I often look for Thai products, you know, in your big shopping centers, and I'm very happy when I see Thai products, you know, and things like Magnum ice cream,
Yes.
quality walls. I mean, who would have thought, you know, people often complain that India is such a big country, there's a problem with the cold chain, but if they can export Magnum to India and it can be sold, you know, on the,
Yes.
you know, ice cream,
Stall.
then it means it's okay.